Now for kicks, I'm going to put the new one in, but I have a feeling it's going to rub. And see how it's got rounded edges? And the old one has square edges. See? You don't, how many times have you really looked at your side latch, your strike plate, to see what color it is? When was the last time? Are they all matching? Probably not. But we'll just put this one in and see if the deadbolt is not going to rub on it. And you know, I can use the drill for this one, and this is a ratcheted drill. And it's sunk in because whoever installed the last one didn't make it so it's flush, so I know I'm going to have to move that out. And I'm just going to tighten the rest by hand for now, so I can see how far it's stuck in. See how far it's sticking in there? It's actually pretty far. It's you know, a good 1/16 or more. And for right now, I'm going to keep that in mind, and I'm going to close this door. Let's see if the deadbolt will fit into there. I kind of have a feeling, because I've got this door pushed up tight, that it's probably not going to lock unless I really push on the door and turn it. But I don't know that for sure or not. See, it's not. Oh, wow. Okay. There's where it's locked. Right there. See? Which means if I have this handle open, I can lock that right there. But it's not far enough. And I think I need to go further to get a good weather stripping seal on the door. And oh, look at that. It's so close. Wow. I pulled on the door this way and it will go. Wow. Now I've got to decide what to do. See, it's really close. I don't know if I'm gonna. I think what I can do is take a little bit off of this tab, bend it in just ever so slightly so that this door closes like that. I think that's what I'm going to do. Wow. I thought I was going to end up putting this one in because it's already reamed out on the side and everything. But hey, that's fine. That one there, I'm going to keep with the door handle, the lock deadbolt that I have upstairs, and it goes with that. I got the deadbolt up in the attic now. And so see, I'm going to leave this one here, but I'm going to make it way better. I'm going to get my little cardboard out, cut it, fold it. This was probably going to take the whole bins, you know, maybe 4 or 5, and this one at least 3 or 4 and 6. I could do that, 4 and 6. Okay, on my little turns, my folds, 4 and 6. So I got to remember that. And because I don't want it to look like this. I can do better. I can make it better. And as for the corners that aren't perfectly square, that's okay. Nobody's going to really see that very much. Okay, so this is my next step, getting that ready with my little shims. Here's my piece that's going to fit up in there, and it's almost good. And so I'm just going to take that. That's just that heavy cardboard paper. That's it. I'm going to try to make this as small as I can get the first one, because if you do it too big, then it gets way too big, so that once you get all the pieces up in here, it sticks up above the screw. So, well, we'll get that fixed, and I'll show you a little something. Now I wanted 6, right? So there's 2, 3, 4, 5. And it looks about right. It almost looks too fat, but in a worst case scenario, if it's too fat, then I can take it back out, undo one little thing, and be easier to take one off than to put one back on. In fact, I'm gonna leave that last one. I think I'm gonna leave. No, that's too much. I'm gonna do just 6, and that might be too much. But once I put the screw in, that could push it up there tight. So I'm gonna take that last bit off like that, and see if I had it. Oh, good. I was gonna say if I had it slightly longer, it would wedge in there. But see, it's just slightly short. And so I'm gonna leave that sitting on the ground. And the top one, I'm just gonna use a shorter piece. And if I had a longer piece, then it would fit up in there, but then I can hold that up there. You'll see. You'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was saying 4 and 6, right? Okay. So do the 4, cut that off. Get that up there, and get it held up there like that, and then I can just push this one down there like that. Okay, there. And then I can take my scratch awl and just kind of wedge that down so it's out of the hole, see, like that. And now I can just hold that and screw it in here. Come on. Oh, I think that's gonna be fine. I'm gonna do the last little bit by hand. Looks just out ever so slightly. Take my hammer and tap on that maybe. I got a heavy, stiff putty knife. right there. All that's doing is mashing down the cardboard a little bit more, just right there. There we go. Look at that. Flush and flush. That is just beautiful. How smooth that is there now. Right there and there. Remember that one was inset? That's how you do that. Okay? So we're gonna look at this here, and remember that paddle down low. I think I need to hit it in just barely, and I'm gonna try to take my crummy screwdriver here. Normally I wouldn't do this, because you could hit the edge of there, but because the weather stripping's there, that's going to protect it a little bit. So I can just tap that in, just a hair, hardly any. That was that little tab. Okay, I'm thinking that's going to be okay. Now let's just see how we did. Let's just see how we did. Look at that. That still gives me a nice seal, and that's locking just fine. But see, if I wanted to push on this a little more, see, I can. But I've got the weather stripping around there, right? And it's just pushing that weather stripping back. So I'm pushed in tight to the weather stripping now, right there. Okay, and kaboom. That's just fine. Now I'm gonna see something, I'm gonna check something here. I'm going to see if, because there's a little bit of a slop in your strike plate, and I want to see if I can adjust the bottom one over just a hair more and still have the latch, the strike, the deadbolt latch go in there, but I have to kind of see where it's at here. Okay, so it's kind of hitting on the, towards the back now. Well, if I push just barely, right there. So I know I'm pretty much adjusted as far as I can go with it still locking okay. Okay? Wow, I'm liking that. I hope you learned something on this video. Now once you think you're done with your whole job, you're not done until you clean up. Make sure you clean everything up, you figure out what you're going to do with your keys, if you got any extra screws left. So I got my long screws for this strike plate, but I don't know when I'm going to use that next. So these screws are going to go in my screw box with all my other screws, and I'll keep that somewhere separate. And then I'll make sure I got all my grubby fingerprints off of here. I see there's just a couple discoloration spots there, and I had cleaned this off, but I can see there's a little bit more right in there, and I want to have that all nicely cleaned, swept up outside here on the threshold, vacuumed up, sweep all this stuff up, and I moved the runner rug, so I'll slide that back after I vacuum everything and sweep up and everything. Make sure you get all that so that you don't leave it, okay? I don't want to tell Mommy, okay, I'm done, and then have her come down here, hey, how come you haven't swept up, and what are all these fingerprints, and what are you gonna, where are you gonna store this stuff? Are you gonna throw any of this stuff away or keep it or what? and all that, okay? Pick up after yourself and make it look like you were never there. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos, and I have no idea what I'm going to show you next, but I'll find something.